Так. Okay, so hello everybody. Today we will draw sketch crowds like in the thumbnail. Yeah. So no, I will do like similar picture but a little different, because on this in the thumbnail is my previous sketch when I made like how to say, it's like with isometric perspective or like long lens, so it have no convergence. People are just like stack in, with same proportion kind of. Так. And this time I want to make little convergence, just for practice purposes. Try like same situations. It's like first like 3rd May was big march in Taipei. Or wait, May 3rd March. Yeah. So and here I want to try like 2 different way to sketch this. One with convergence and one without convergence. Yeah, and here is also is like good practice and good demonstration of ways how can you sketch crowds, because it's also what I always now practice is to sketch people, because like I want to more and more include people in my landscapes, kind of in my drawing of cities and stuff. So while I'm practicing, I discovered this like different techniques. Also want to share it with you. Yeah, now I sharing this stream to my Facebook and other media, so it's take like 2 minutes. Also a reminder, I have donations. It will be great if you donate some money, because now no, it helped me to make more streams. Also, it will good to have any income now, because I don't have any income at this moment. I do a lot of like charity stuff. So all you can donate or share video, it will help a lot. It's also will be great. Also, I have Discord channel where we can conversation, like if you like to draw, if you like have a growth mindset, like want to learn and stuff. So welcome to our Discord. I really enjoy our conversations there. Like we have audio chat, we have text chat, we have audio chat, and audio chat we can also like talk during streams. Like maybe today John will come to talk on a stream, so we'll see later. So it's like our podcaster kind of draftsman podcast substitute. Так, second. Так. Okay, so here I show you I have this this screen. It's here's my references in a PureRef. So you see is fantastic program, like where you can just put all related images. So like here what I did, I find all photos have been kept made on this meeting, so I have like different angles. What I need, I need no, I was choosing, like thinking about composition, like what angle I want to draw, or like what kind of composition just on a page. And also I want to, second thing, I want to have this like different characters and the elements. So it's like what kind of people can be there, what kind of clothes they have, and what kind of props have been there. So it's like here we have this Tibet flag, and before I even don't know it's Tibet flag. Here's like Kazakhstan flag, and I can see like all these different like slogans and stuff. So like look, I can see like different kind of people, like people with hats, people with glasses, people with posters, people with cameras. So this is like all these pieces of puzzle, or like elements of kind of Lego pieces, you know, which I can kind of looking around and say, okay, this is what I have, this is what I can work with. So I can include or exclude. No, I mean, I can use something or not, it's up to me. But it's good to have everything in one place. So then I was like, make like, you see, it's like I make this, how to say, stacks, like, or, no, divided in some categories. So here it was like this like side view with a truck. So I put them together here. Here is some like view with people on a truck, and here it was like truck when it was standing. Then it was before March. We was also some March. Here it's just like put everything together. But here is like this front view, which I want to use for this particular drawing right now. It's like we can see these people walking towards viewer, towards camera, right? So, and I can see also see like a flower and stuff, you see. So, and then let's say I use this one as inspiration for composition, and then I will pick to look around in the other pictures just to see if I want to use different characters. It's not, you know, not copy just everything here on this only one image. Instead use like, okay, first you need to like analyze, right? So like what I will analyze here, like I say here I want composition, so it's like people walking towards camera, and so it's like upper torso, heads, and so we have like different clothes on upper torso, we have different faces, different props like hats, glasses, masks. Masks can have different patterns. Also, some people hold posters, some people hold flags, some people hold this kind of poster with handler, and so I can like make my own way variation, play with this. I can move people around. I can like don't need to use exactly these people from this picture. I can use people from other pictures and put instead of somebody here. It's just like it's have another like composition kind of rule. It's like, let's say, like narration kind of perspective, right? So it's like one is just visual visual perspective, and other one is narration perspective. Narration perspective is like, okay, I want to show uh, typical and special kind of, it goes like kind of typical and special. So typical is something what is like really uh, normal or typical for this kind of situation or for this kind of moment. So I mentioned, is this like people with posters, let's say, right? Like, so this is something typical. So we see them and we understand what is situation. And special or like maybe not untypical thing, it's like people characters. So here I don't want to draw everybody look same, then it will be boring. So it's like narrative, very empty, kind of flat, right? To like what kind of people I will draw, what kind of faces they have. This like will create this like interest for people to watch your pictures, like to watch these different characters, and to have this untypical kind of moments, which like surprise or interesting kind of things. So like, wow, so interesting person here, or like, wow, it's interesting kind of detail, unexpected. So it's like, yeah, it's suitable for this situation, but it's not expected, or it's like can be contrast or controversial. So unexpected, contrast, controversial, blah 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 blah. So, and for me, like say like this one is like we have like kind of documentary situation, right? Like it's like you're making documentary. So I put, I considering all these things, typical, untypical, expected, unexpected, surprise, and details, and controversial, all those things. And I use for this, I use like real data, I use real images, and kind of depict them in my work. But how I organize them is my kind of creativity, like how to say, like mix, right? Like I make this my own mix with all this real stuff, and the result usually is like when it's done good, when good documentary, like it's look like if it's been done before artist and he just like draw it from like straight forward, just copy it. But actually not, actually it's like it was this pre-production stage when we like work with reference, analysis, decisions when you choose characters. Like here, for example, like I know many people here in the crowd, I know personal, so I can literally draw like here their portraits, so because I want them also to find them, like here, like here. So it's like my friends who was in this march, they can recognize themselves, and it's like make from this picture, make documentary, but also like a game, and also gives this like another dimension of interest and joy, because like for people who out of this community, it's like maybe interesting to see different characters. For people who in this community, who was participate this, who know these people, for them it's like a game to recognize people they know. Same like many all this absolutely related to movie makers and writers. Like for example, like people say who work with Miyazaki, they say like it's like if you know his circle, like his friends and colleagues who or relatives, you will see these people as characters in his cartoon, in his artworks, because like say like it's inevitable he will include everybody around in in his work, and like they afterwards they're surprised to find themselves inside his cartoons. It's this kind of funny moment here. Так, okay. Let's also. I forgot to refill. To refill my lime. So dark. Okay, that's better. Auto exposure in this camera is horrible. Так, okay. Also I got some my books from Amazon. We'll make soon video with review Amazon KDP. So it's my art books there. Also kind of will write in the comment or in description about it. Так. Hello?
Hi.
Okay. How are you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Так.
All right, I love the drawing so far.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah. I forgot to check your Instagram. What do you draw recently?
I did another tree.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I saw your post with the huge crowd.
Uh, yeah, I like now I practice more crowds. Так. So, let's see. You draw now something?
Yeah, I'm finishing up. I'm taking an art course and I'm finishing up some homework and then I'm gonna draw. I don't know. I might do more people.
Uh, what art course you do?
I'm taking a digital painting course.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna try and learn watercolor too.
Cool. And where is it? Like, what kind of online school is it, or what?
It's this online school called CGMA.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, they have this basic digital painting course. It
Mhm.
is so expensive though.
Whoa.
Yeah, $700 per course.
Whoa. Cool. Okay. Yeah, actually, this also is very interesting thing because I don't know, like when I open something like Domestika or Skillshare, it's like, oh my god, it's like they're destroying education with these prices. Like they're like, oh, $10 and you can buy course. And like for me, make this course is so difficult. Like it will take like months or three, and the price for it's like $10.
Yeah, I was shocked. I bought one of their courses. Bought this creative sketching one.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, my point is like Domestika, for example. Like there's like a lot of these cheap courses. People go there, they're like, oh, everything's so cheap, and buy like 20 or 100 of them, and they do nothing with this. And after, when you do some course yourself, like put on your website or somewhere, they go there, look like, huh, $25 for your course. I can go domestic and like find so many cheap courses. Or like this, like
Oh,
700, and like this, like, why so expensive? I can go buy for $15 or 10.
yeah, exactly.
It's like yeah, this price is like, it's like how much coffee cost in dollars? Average price for coffee cup.
Let's see. Actually, I couldn't drink coffee. I gotta check. Let's see.
You're not coffee.
$2.70.
Uh, Anyway, it's like a breakfast in Starbucks. I think like $10, something like this. So they like make with these prices, they make like equal. Um, I don't know, like casual stuff with educational stuff. Like like make it like make status from something like sacred to something like a food. don't know how to explain. Just devaluate anyways. Like when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, and it's also kind of little discouraging because you need to compete with this. It's like education mall online.
Yeah.
It's like your small shop in the corner somewhere in the village. Here, like Costco, in 2 blocks from you.
Guess it's a tough business. Have you? I have some friends who say they teach on Skillshare.
No, I tried this like 4 year ago. I tried in from Taiwan to make Skillshare, and it was like so laggy and slow. So I kind of like I don't want to. It's too slow. Maybe now it's better. No, I mean I'm sure now it's better. I need to go to try, but also now I have like Gumroad and I bought system on WordPress, so I can make like my own course and on my website. Same with the payment system, kind of with this stuff. So it's kind of need to think like, do I need a Skillshare platform, or I can just, or better make on my own website.
Yeah, your own website sounds a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also think because anyways, like also this problem with tra- traffic to my website, right? So I need like more and more stuff to traffic to my website. If I make Skillshare, okay, then I need to know how to make traffic to Skillshare. So I need like people go to my website to go Skillshares, or just promote Skillshare everywhere. Yeah, better just do on our own site. I need to take course how to make projects probably, yeah, because like all these years I was thinking like I see like YouTube channel for example, they have like 5 people or how, no, at least like 3 or 2 people, like some big profitable YouTube channel. Usually it's like more than one person, right?
Yeah, they got an entire team. They got the managers, the camera people.
Yeah, like technical stuff, like this copywriting stuff, all this like take a lot of time. And I was always like think how I even don't know where to start. Like how they find these people. I mean, I just need to hire people, and yeah, I should be like a project manager probably. So like I invest my own money and hire people, because it's impossible to tell somebody like, oh, let's do together for free, and then we will probably will make some money here. And I think it is no work, right?
No, it's hard. It sounds hard.
Yeah, kind of. So these years I still don't figure out. And now I think because I don't want to put my money there. I want just like find like free way to do it, and there is only do myself for free. Is like free work is best is yourself. I think like with drawing people is kind of this point I always keep in mind and remind myself. It's I believe it's like will be one moment, maybe after like 10,000 hours or stuff like this. This will be moment when drawing people will feel like a writing. You know, yeah, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm very impatient. I can't wait for that time to come.
Yeah, it's like imagine like you like just you have images in your head like oh like this like Kim Jong Il, right? Like you think like okay, here will be person in this angle, and here will be his fingers will be something like that, and you just sit and draw it, you know, without like picking every second to reference. You're like trying to remember how to make it correct. And I'm sure it's like again like Kim Jong Il or like many artists who have the skill who purposefully work on it. It's like also this video in internet. I forgot always name manga artist who make manga 20th century boys. You know this manga?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't.
Also, he make a monster about a surgeon, like a manga named Monster, and their like main hero is a doctor who been save life of a maniac, of serial killer kind of, and after when he like it's very interesting, you know, like there's like moral dilemma when he was like not saving life um, of rich man to save life of poor person who was come first, so he would been fired for this. So we like know like wow, this doctor, he's really good man. He's like he help people no matter like how good is for his career or like how much money it will give to him. But then it was other client who is turns out to be a serial killer, and he's like oh actually I save life of serial killer, so and then he like kind of decide to find him, and it's kind of story so cool.
Now I want to read it.
Yeah, you can check Monster. It's like this is a manga artist. He is another legend in Japan. It's like Katsuhiro Otomo and Masamune Shiro, kind of on this level, very famous.
Let's see, it says his name is Naoki Urasawa.
Urasawa. Uh-huh. Yeah. So and you can find he even have a YouTube channel now. Actually, it's crazy. And there's a documentary about different manga artists, and he draw and talk little about his method and style. And he's this kind of artist who just draw right away. Like no, he make kind of like this some basic pattern and just fill it with ink. You know, it's crazy. So it's like he have already all this experience and knowledge of body parts and the different angles and all this stuff. So feel, you know, confident with this, like writing.
I'm watching him draw right now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So it's like basically like it's absolutely true. Like I believe like you forget already how you study write in English, right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I can't tell you how I learned it.
but it's good when you know if you now will start to study Chinese or Russian language, for example, like you will try to write this stuff, you will like see is like so much similar to learning drawing, you know, like so many similarity. It's just simpler. It's much simpler than drawing because uh, its structures much simpler. Like in a drawing, for example, you need to know anatomy, perspective, and it's much more elements, like 100 times more elements. You know, it's like only face is one language, right?
Right.
And there's so many stuff. So, but I think like let's say way we learn language, it's same like we same way we learn drawing, absolutely same way, drawing or writing or any kind of creative stuff. So like with Chinese, for example, the traditional system, I don't know, maybe it's kind of gossip stuff, but probably it's true. And it looks like true. So they say you like in China, like they say you need just repeat 50 times, or if you're not smart enough, 100 times, and then like anybody after repeating like 100 times will will know it and remember it. Kind of this, just repetition.
Man, I am so bad at that though. It's crazy hearing you talk about that.
So it's just like you delaying this moment when you will understand and accept it. That's all. You know, it's like sad but true. You can listen Metallica and cry, but you need to understand it works this way.
It does. It's such. It's like art, I guess, too, because it requires such a huge amount of dedication and persistence.
This kind of this moment, which is like absolutely not romantic and not magical, but it's like core actually of all this stuff. It's just like freaking repetition.
Is another, a problem I have, and it applies to both drawing and language, is that I don't even know how to start. Like, if somebody just starts drawing, they
Uh-huh.
don't even know how to draw lines.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of people who say, like, oh, you want to learn how to draw people? Start with anatomy.
No.
That's just, that's crazy if you can't even draw a line. And,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think I've tried to explain my process to people a few times. They say, oh, I like that drawing. How'd you do it? Like, how do I get that good? Well,
Mm-hmm.
number one, I'm not good. And number two, it's like if you're at a level, like it's possible to be so, I don't want to say bad,
Mm-hmm.
but like at the beginning stages of drawing, where I don't think you know how to learn. You just have to repeat it a few times, and eventually you'll get a grasp on it. Like when I want to learn a language,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same way. I can't remember when I was learning English. I literally can't remember. But I walked into the classroom one day and they said, okay, the cat goes woof. And I'm 4 years old. I said, okay, the cat goes woof. It's easy.
No, my point here is like also now I read in this like Zen kind of motorcycle stuff. It's so interesting because like it's talking about everything I important also for me. It's like about education, about creativity, really cool stuff. He was also mentioned there in very interesting thing. Say it's like it's no one way of doing things. Like it's no only right way how to learn, for example. So you can do it like hundreds way, even if like you don't know it yet. Actually, if you have in mind that you can do it like so many way, you will find. And but my point is what I discover for myself, and I think it's inevitable, like harsh true. You need to realize is core of any education is repetition. Just all like in a sport. you know, like you cannot I mean, it's not like a trillion uh, movements which you need just one by one to do, you know, like okay, like this first year you do this 5,000 movements, like you do movement like what's like this. After next day they show you you need to move like this, you move like this. It's like, oh okay, I can, right? You see, I can do it. I can do this, I can do that. Like this, okay. i'm i I learn it kind of, right? So it's not work this way. You cannot like, oh, I can make a line. Oh, so you can draw 5 point perspective now because it's just bunch of lines, you know. uh,
Yeah.
or
It's
you
after.
or you draw one picture with 5 point perspective and it's like, oh, I can draw 5 point perspective now because I did this. How it works?
Just because you draw one, I mean, I don't know if that.
So I
You
mean,
you have to do it again and again and again.
so here, I mean, like it's kind of like make like 100 hours of explaining why is this work like this. Uh, you can, but I think better if you will have this idea in mind and try to find your own explanation and understanding why it's work. Because I mean, it just will make your self-educational, like you say, like learn how to learn, right?
Right.
So if you will break this ice, break this kind of naive naive feeling kind of education, when you wish to find like a way to not repeat stuff. You want to always kind of like do something like original, interesting, and so you need to kind of look this demon in the face, put your head in his jaw, kind of between his jaws, and say like, okay, like you're my pet, you know. I know I need to repeat, like, so I don't afraid this anymore. So I mean, you just understand how to use it, how it works. So you can see how different artists work with it. You can see how you can apply it, because it's like, let's say like how to learn. Okay, just see what can do and repeat it in the table times. But you will die on the way. I mean, everybody will die. Like after 100 years you're doing this, you will die kind of eventually, right? So it's absolutely dry process, and it's exactly like that. You just in actually, I mean, it's crazy. It's exactly like that. You can like do like draw like 1 point perspective pictures all your life, and you will become like world famous, maybe even go into history, like crazy artists who draw like millions of 1 point perspective drawings, and like people who will see like 1 point perspective drawings, they will say like, oh my god, I know who draw best 1 point perspective views in the world, you know, in the history of art and stuff like that. So it's if talking about quality and real understanding, it's all about repetition. So then like you will ask kind of questions like uh, is it all for me, or I want something aside from it, like, or something different than only this. And then you kind of looking your way, you know, you choosing like this, if looking for these elements which make your path interesting for you, which make your own path. But all this will be based on repetition. You will repeat this or that stuff is inevitable. You just choosing like uh, what exactly you will repeat all the time. And yeah, kind of this is just what I try to say.
That was amazing.
Yeah. like hallelujah. I need to make these buttons with something like fireworks or something.
I would wear one of those on my shirt.
Yeah, and you can find you have TED education, TED Ed video. I will also drop it in Discord. TED Ed video about learning. They explain this too. They explain this like biology kind of how it work on a biology level, and physio or neurology kind of stuff, like with the neurons and stuff. Why is repetition is important. Так. So it's not like just new age philosophy kind of.
Well, I'm gonna watch it later after we're done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I will drop it to Discord. So it's kind of like what I find also okay. I find when I repeat stuff, like okay, let's say drawing landscapes on the streets, right? Imagine like I did this, like thousand. Like if like very busy, I was doing it from 2011. So 11 years. Yeah. So no, 10 years for sure. I did it like almost every day, almost all day. Imagine, right?
Wow.
Yeah, just go and draw, go and draw, go and draw. Sometimes it's just like really like no, I don't want to draw today. Let's just go and draw like a job, and but then I was starting like I want to learn more and practice more drawing people. Actually, I want to draw comic book kind of stuff. So I just feel kind of lack of something. So I want to fill this gap now. Kind of feel this thing. And so my point is like I can keep repeat drawing landscapes, and it's nothing bad with that, you know.
Yeah, you just repeat whatever you want to learn.
Yeah, you can. Fact is that like what you will repeat, this what you will be good at, is all, and this also will make your work more prominent and solid and valuable and etc etc. So like if you will also no you know if you will repeat some stuff without dedication, just like I don't like to I just do it because it's whatever something, then okay, still it will have this quality, of course, right? So just only repetition, of course, don't give you like anything. But this how you can do something good is through repetition. This kind of point. And I was completely understand this actually after watching like TED education, this video tutorial. So I can explain now how it works, because like I was put it in my own words and to really understand. So you ask, oh yeah, for example, talking about drawing people, right? Like you ask like, oh, how to learn drawing people, and somebody tell like, do you need to start from anatomy? And you or somebody can say like, oh, it's too crazy, start from anatomy. But why not? Why? You can be zero in drawing and start from anatomy. Why not?
So what we're always told is that it's well, the way that we're actually told about it here is that anatomy is just a bunch of 3D forms. So if you don't have that base understanding of how to draw something in 3D, you might get confused or you might not be able to apply what you're learning.
Yeah, so question here actually is not about like is a bad idea or wrong to start with anatomy. Problem here is just like uh, you cannot be good or get to some good result if you will do it only through anatomy, you know, right?
Right.
So you can start from anatomy, you will learn how to control your pencil, you will learn some shading and stuff, and then you will start questioning like how to make it like look actually three-dimensional. Then you will find some like crayons, Gumroad, all this stuff, and like then like oh, but how to place figure in a space, and then you start to find like tutorials about perspective and space, like 1 point perspective, 2 points perspective, and stuff. So my point, you can starting point can be from anywhere. You can start to learn drawing people making anatomy while you're uh, jumping from airplane with a parachute. So I mean, from my point of view, like it's just a pointless idea of searching for like a right beginning or something like oh it's like I've been so traumatized like it's so disappointing drawing people because I started wrong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember drawing these muscles, and I even don't know what is 3D. I just drawing nonsense. I don't know. Just you need to first of all you need to draw. Just all. So yeah. So here is the point. Is more. It's like this kind of. It's like will like if me like because I was like teaching and and I look like I don't want to break person, you know. So you just look like, will he handle it, or he will like look all this like anatomy, perspective. Oh, I will never able to draw. It's not my thing, you know. Like if you don't want to terrify somebody, okay, you will find some more easy way. But actually, you can start from like super crazy stuff. It can be like very hard for you, or maybe use this kind of guy for who it will be fun and easy. Only point is like, will you go, keep going, keep drawing, or not? No, I mean like is basic thing like most important. And then all this like things about improvement, make it faster and smarter is kind of I think is details, but don't make it like don't turn it upside down. Like when I hear like YouTubers or some teachers or some just students, I don't know, like talking about like learning smart, and they're like too much focus on it, you know, instead of like no, actually they just trying to avoid dry and boring part, and it's kind of wrong. It's like you want to be like basketball player, and like you go to coach, like you go like 1 week training after you come and say like, I think we need to change our way of training. Just, come on, like make a sportmaster first, and after you will reimagine kind of training process, right?
Right.
So this is kind of about this mastery book and like war of art. This is what I was told last time. They also talking about this thing. That's why I tell it's very important to read, just because I think it's like from these guys who have really good skill and who really have a right point of view for this stuff.
And I'm gonna read it. You've sold me.
I need to sell my books like this. Why I always like.
Like it has all of your secrets in it. This is where you can buy your book and become a master artist.
Yeah, you can copy my drawings every day. So this is kind of a real secret of being master. Just repeat. That's crazy. It's just
That's the secret.
Sorry.
That's the secret they don't want you to know.
Yeah, and this why it's secret, because it's secret not because nobody know it. It's because nobody want to know.
It has to be something else. There has to be something else there. That's it.
Like, looks like, look, it's here. Say, no, I don't know where. No, it's definitely not here. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, it's also like a good, I think, illustrations like compare it with juggling. So it's like repetition and with the juggling. Like you need to move all these things together, kind of. Maybe first time you like for example, like you need to juggle with banana, apple, mug, and bowl, and I don't know what else. Knife. It's like first you will like practice juggle with the knife itself without anything else, and juggle only with apple, then apple with knife, and like kind of stuff like this, right?
Yeah, so those all sound pretty dangerous.
Yeah, no, no, you can not knife like let's say iPhone, because like you can break iPhone if you will juggle iPhone and Apple and banana kind of together. They have different qualities, and like no, you know what I mean. It's like perspective, anatomy, and blah 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 blah. You just choose what you want to use, and you need to repeat every day or regularly repeat. and then you need to combine it together and repeat it together. So it's like kind of juggling them. You can juggle only banana, and also you can juggle banana with iPhone. Kind
That makes so much sense.
of. But then by juggling, you will good in juggling. Also, you know, Marshall, he have now on YouTube, he have series with drawing anatomy.
Oh, when did that come out?
It's quite recently. I don't know. Maybe still not complete. It's about like you can check like Bridgman, like well, anyway, like Marshall Van Drove, he have YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, he released the entire Bridgman boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of signing up for it back when he did it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect. I own the book.
Oh, cool. So you can follow assignments.
Oh, that's perfect. If there are assignments, I love doing homework. So how did you learn anatomy when you were learning how to draw people?
Or I have mind map where I write all muscles, and here's really like this kind of question is really like need to make tutorial or lecture to explain. But I don't know, like main thing here is just you try to learn it, and that's all. You know, you try this way, you try another way, you watch video, you make you write in like notes from video, you also read book, you write from book, you make mind map, you draw every picture from book, you draw from memory, you draw like you try like you know have this like photo, and you draw like on above you trying to recognize muscles, because like you know okay, wait a second, I have a book. Yeah, Bames. It's called Gottfried Bames. I have this in the Russian language.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, his anatomy book, I've heard it's amazing and it's also pretty expensive.
Because this one is like super scientific, and he like his approach, I think, like this is what how teach in Russian academical art schools, like colleges and universities. It's like this classical kind of.
Wow.
So here in this main idea, you need to start from knowing. At least you need to remember all muscles and the bones and joints and the connections of like where is connection point of muscles, what is form of muscle. So, you know, this like kind of dry theory. You need just to remember at least at first all this. And Bames he talking also about you need to know functions, like what is functions of these areas, muscles and bones. So let me find. So you know, it's like his anatomy is super theoretical. It's crazy. You just like for me, I'm you know I'm this like kind of probably if I'm like engineer kind of person, but I'm complete humanitarian, humane science. You know, like for me it's very hard to remember dry data. I can remember just like just remember all these muscles, like where they connect, all their names and all this place and stuff like this. No, I will always forget. So for me to remember, I need to know how to use it. So I need to kind of together kind of to learn it, you know, to draw and repeat names and stuff. So let's say, yeah, like these bones, for example, on my feet. So this kind of you need to remember this like poetry, you know, like ba 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 da ba da ba, jingle bells, dun dun dun. You need to remember all this. This, I mean, eventually, anyway, if you're really talking about learning anatomy, and if you really want to say like, oh, I know anatomy, yeah, it means you know all this. It's not like secret something in the galaxy, you know, like no, we have all this in the books. If you at least know all this, then you can say like you have some knowledge in anatomy. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that book looks so amazing.
So let me find, yeah, like here for example, so he like has this function, he dividing body by functions, by this area with functional. So like here for example have this rib cage and the pelvis, right? So he say, okay, what kind of function of this area? Like, so you can like move legs up down here. You can turn your torso and stuff. So what kind of movements can do? What kind of load or mechanical kind of purpose it can do? You know. S-
Yeah.
This is like super interesting. Like here. So instead of learning like just a visual appearance, you Bama's point of view and like academical art point of view is like you should to understand. You need to understand how it works, what is purpose and what is functions, mechanics and all this stuff. So you know what is it, you know how it works, so you know like which muscle will like expand in which situation and when he will long, when he will short and stuff like this. Same like with the drapery, you know, like drawing folds. Like we can see like artist, he understands nature of this material, or he just make illusion of yeah, he make like imitation of it, or he kind of recreating it, you know.
Yeah.
So all this stuff you need to remember, and question is like how you will make yourself to remember all this really. So when you need, you will like quickly like to remember what you need. And how you do this? Okay, this is different like tutorials. You can watch tutorials if it make it easier for you. But actually like you can just, you don't need anything, only book, or I don't know, like dead body. If you don't want buy book, just go to where's like how Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci did before, right? Just go and study body in a hospital or somewhere. The only point is like you need to understand what's this. You need to understand how many stuff, what to do, and so. So it's like it's pure education, uh, which is like just knowledge of what is this thing. It's not. It's not like. Uh, it's not a ritual or mantra or something. You know, somebody tell like, oh, go learn this mantra or go learn this ritual. No, you learn it or you not. You know, then if you don't learn it, if then you don't know it. Kind of this, and this will determine quality of your work. People will just see it's like you know anatomy or you don't know it. So it's up to you. Do you want to have this quality in your work, or it's not necessary actually, because this will take so many time.
It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. Like you can also analyze. It's kind of actually. I don't know how to tell. It's like before you learn it, you actually cannot know is this what is this. You know, you cannot really say anything about it like objectively because you don't know what is this thing. But you can actually kind of analyze your favorite artists, and you can see level of their anatomy. Mm, application, or I don't know, like for example, like let's say, let's compare Kim Jong-gi and Katsuhiro Otoma. It's like can say there is right away like Kim Jong-gi anatomy knowledge much deeper.
100%.
Hmm. And
His knowledge on everything is amazing. Oh, sorry.
it's okay. No, no, it's still it's just like but Katsuhiro Otomo, he's like genius storyteller, right? Like so, it's like okay, he put more, probably like let's kind of theoreticize on this because of course it's not true and I don't know, but just like for idea, for demonstration, like he put more effort and himself in storytelling than in an kind of anatomy and structure learning compared to Kim Jong-gi. And so, and if we watch people drawn by Atoma and people drawn by Kim Jong-gi, we can see like in Kim Jong-gi drawings, even like when he draw like as caricature and simplistic, is still there have like this quality of flesh. It's like kind of you can really feel it have like a bone structure and flesh on the bones, so it's much more closer to real people experience. And if you watch Atoma, then you actually will realize he drew dolls. So it's like it's not the people, it's like how it's called, dummies. It's like this like dolls, which is like very close. They have like this realistic quality, but actually they are dolls.
Wait, they're dolls?
Yeah. So it's like it's like it's like you play with dolls and you imagine they're real people. Same actually is this manga. It's so many manga like this where they're like they actually look like dolls. We just try to look at from point of view. It's like so many when they have this like uh, it's no almost like if you take a doll and make different drawings of it from different angle, it's completely like subconsciously it's so much have this quality and feel of doll. Okay, I will show you so what I mean. And it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad like about dolls. Okay. It's look like a doll in a shop, like have the Spider-Man dolls or stuff like this. How toy people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can like just have this joint here, and then he move like this. I can see kind of in his drawings, they like this. They're not so flexible, and you like if Kim Jong-il draw, you can see like how kind of he rotate bones and how flesh will moving around bones. Here no, and Atoma is just like this body parts moving around joints.
Yeah.
So and like their head moving on the joint of like neck. Let me flip here. Look. So it's like it's this adult dolls for adults, let's say.
Yeah, the really, really detailed ones.
Not so detailed actually, but like how to say, like for adults, you know what I mean? It's not like they're not childish. They're like teenagers or adult dolls. They like have this quality of uh, mm, how does this say, disappointment, you know. Look,
I think I do.
it's absolutely kind of Toy Story. It's Toy Story with apocalypse, you know. And so all this way how he drew people, you see, it's even like they're
Wow.
cut from wood or made from clay.
Yeah. Well, that looks so sculpted.
Yeah. So and we buy it, we love it because its three-dimensional quality is great, and we like this quality of like adultness, you know. And also this give me this understanding when I was realize this thing. It give me this and look this hand, right? This like dun dun joint here, dun dun this element, dun dun this element here with a closing on it. So it's just body parts. They're like all made from similar elements and just moving around like a dolls placed in different situations. So when I was understand this, I actually realize, you know, it's not important how realistic your work, how close it to reality, kind of. Because if you will draw like absolutely close to real, like almost like photo, it will be, it can be even bad, you know.
Yeah, it might not look as good.
Yeah, it can be
Or
and especially for comic book, I think it's absolutely not important to draw like realistic. Absolutely not a thing. You just need to make people believe in your story, kind of, so they will like cry or nervous. They will like have this cliffhanger stuff. And I was like in Taiwan. They have here like traditional doll theater, you know, with like dolls like on the hand, you know.
yeah, oh, like type of dolls. Are you asking for the type of dolls?
How?
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like this puppetry theater with dolls on the hand, like you know. Yeah. So and I was there in a show, and they have like this like masters who do these shows for children and stuff, and it's so crazy, you know. It's actually absolutely amazing. When is the doll? It's like, okay, doll, it's doll. I don't interest in, kind of. But then he take it and he start to kind of play with it, like make these voices and stuff and movements, and it's really look alive. And it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's like, I think like, wow, it's so cool. It's like you use this doll as a buffer, kind of. It's not this man anymore, and it's not a doll anymore. It's something third thing right now. It's like this uh, uh, incarnation of a character.
Like they made it come to life.
Yeah, it was like you summon some spirit to through you, kind of. It's so interesting. I was really like, wow, this kind of thing is really like shamanism kind of stuff. And was so interesting for me to realize, because when I was like study features of different styles, I was like kind of try to understand, and then I was also questioning about this anatomy, and I was realize this thing about I actually more like Atomo style. I mean, like it's much faster to draw, and it feels like a little unrealistic compared to Kim Jong Gi, but it's even in a good way because it doesn't make it. It's make like its own world instead of to be too similar to real world. It's like this parallel universe where people is dolls. And this kind of make it more immersive because you going inside this world and separate from real world. When people looks too similar to real people, it's harder to do.
Yeah, like it looks fake.
Yeah, you kind of like you're probably somewhere in subconsciousness, you know it's a imitation, but when it's so much stylized, like you know, like Adventure Time cartoon, like okay, you know, you kind of accept this reality, and then you just like emerge inside this reality, and you not compare it with the real world. You say like, okay, it's this universe with its own rules. I don't just forget everything because I just need to follow story and just so.
That is exactly how I feel about it. That's a great example because I was just watching Adventure Time.
Oh, cool. I need
Yeah,
I need to watch, but it's like so many. I was just watch couple of them, and I think it's really a cool art.
it is. It's such an iconic style. And after a while after that show came out, everybody was drawing like that.
Uh, have you seen Midnight Gospel?
I've heard of it, I haven't seen it.
Whoa. Okay, you need to because it's if I understand right, it's like it's yeah, it's together with Adventure Time creators. They made it, and I think they use all these craziest thing inventions from Adventure Time cartoon. They use in this one, and the Midnight Gospel is crazy.
Wow, it looks amazing. Just looking it up right now.
Hmm. Yeah, you need to watch for sure. It's like this. it's also interesting, like drawing crowds like this. It's also need to keep in mind. It's like kind of like a movement here. So like yeah, I consider it like I can say it. It's like a pattern, mm, like a texture. Yeah, you can compare it with making a texture. So you try to look how it look in an abstract level if you don't know its people. So what kind of abstract movement it have or what kind of feel. So it can be like, you know, same. It can be like very nervous or very calm. It can be like flowy or it can be like messy. It can like have this like lines of movement, or it can be total like rubbish, you know, without any direction.
Wow.
So it's kind
And
of
that's something that you would try and figure out before you start drawing, right? Or
no, actually, I'm lazy. Sometimes. But you see, like in this situation here, I just make a pattern to not lost this perspective. So I will keep this like diminishing, and all this like kind of movements I figuring out in the process. So it's like it's kind of how I prefer to do it because I I'm not sure yet what it will be. So it's like have this different way again. It's like some artist will like make it like super mathematically. Like you have this Loomis, he have composition kind of formal, informal subdivision. So he will like kind of like put all this like division, like golden cut and stuff. So say like okay, he has this people will go in here and there stuff like and for me if I will determine too much it will be boring for me to draw, so I like to always to have this unknown, so like I don't know who will be here, you know, or who will be here. I want to find out in the process, so it's also interesting for me.
wow, it looks like a lot of fun to do, though.
Yeah, it's also so it's like challenging, so you kind of like how I see it's like challenging make it interesting, but also if it's challenged too much it will make you anxious. If it's too much, way too much, it will make you nervous and like stuck, so you will like give up, right?
Right.
So you kind of just like surfing, you know, like if you're no, I never do this. I try kind of one time surfing. I cannot even like catch a wave when I lean in. It's crazy. But I mean, let's say like if I understand what they think, like if you start surfing, like go into this crazy wave which can kill you, or you start just from doing some like basic exercise. So it will be challenge from beginning. Anything will be challenge, but it will be fun. Later it will become boring, so you need to go to more difficult, more challenging kind of task.
It's just hard ramping it up like that to a huge crowd of people like this. This looks so difficult.
It's already hard to say because yeah, yeah, it's like think about all this stuff, um, and now it's included like perspective and anatomy or stuff. All I can remember from what I studied before, or what I drew before, now it's kind of I recalling for it while I drawing it. So it's like you know, like this, like in the martial arts, they have a training when you training like possible situations, right?
Right.
Like every kind of martial arts, or like kind of like if I understand it's like special forces, something like or police, like what if this happen. So they have like this like um, reactions and sequences of action. So if like how to make like fast take gun from holster, like a jump in the left or jump in the right. So they have like this like scenario and uh, uh, possible reactions. And of course you cannot train prepare for every possible reaction, but they have like most likely scenario and the most practical sequences which you kind of useful to practice, right?
Right.
Same here. So same here. You sit, you study all these heads, angles, you understand the structure, understand and make you better um, know what you're doing. Also move you to deeper levels, but also just practice of drawing different angles, like any kind of possible angles, but there are also typical angles, like like front, three-quarter, and stuff like that. So if you practice like repeatedly draw them, then when you will have like this kind of average, often view, like here. Oh, let's say here. I will show for demonstration. What kind of angle we have here? So many three-quarters and just front faces, right?
Right.
So we almost never draw people from a back. And it's like still for me it's so pain to draw people from back. And I was when I was like in Hong Kong, I would like take escalator and in the metro. I start to draw people backs, like how to draw them from back, like some bare people or different haircuts. Because if I need, especially in comic books, when it's a lot of situation when I need to draw different people, I should to have some experience of oh yeah, finally I see some. You see this old man from the back.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, so if you will have make some research, you will find so most of people here is front and three-quarter. So if you practice draw this angle, you should probably focus most on this angle, on the front three-quarter. And then we have like next maybe will be like side view. And then we can see this like slight camera like above head, right?
Yeah.
So let's say like now next stage will be like draw people from front or three-quarter and side with little higher camera or little lower camera than face. You see? Still like how many we have? Like 6 options, and you need to repeatedly draw it. Different kind of look, different kind of light, like we have like daylight, we have from lamp light and stuff, different directions and stuff like this. So we have this like scenario, possible scenario in your training situation, in your gym, kind of, right? And you practice this possible scenario, and then like here, okay, now is my moment of action. Now I need to draw these people when I need. And my previous practice give me make me more confident in this situation. So same like if you're like police officer and you was trained with situation of threat, like somebody like robber or I don't know, like, and then like okay, like you was training like 100 times, like you jumping back, you make I don't know like how it's called, turning around on the ground and grab your gun from holster and like point at him and you're ready to shoot, kind of this, so you did this like 100 times, then you can do it very fast even without thinking. So same here. Like you more you practice this, then you like you don't need to remind kind of be aware of it. It will go through your subconscious. Practice, keep put all this stuff on your subconsciousness. So then you can focus on some details or some fun things, and you don't need to even think about perspective or about like how to draw people in 3/4. You already did it so many times. You just draw it, and you can focus on like how to make him look or how to capture his like face emotion, right?
Right.
This how repetition work. And then when you will draw like hundreds emotions, then you can like focus on the next level. It's like how to make people who watch your drawing with this guy with this emotion, what do you want him to feel, what do you want this guy who watch your picture, what do you want him make to feel when he watch your picture. And this like much higher level stuff. So my point is like in any art, like ballet or martial arts or drawing or music, you cannot go directly to this higher stage if you not develop like a workout with previous one, because you will explode. Because okay, let's say you honestly you want to make somebody feel something for your picture, right?
Right.
And you draw guy with some let's say 100 people with different emotions in this picture, right? But uh and you really like you have this intention, you see some like okay it will be something like this, and I will use perspective, I will use emotions in a drawing, I will draw them from different angles. And then but you did it so few times, so now you have struggle with each of this thing. You need struggle with perspective, you will struggle with anatomy, you will fighting for like trying to make this emotion looks right, and you will fight and to make sure angles looks correct, and so many all the stuff together you need to struggle and keep this goal in your mind. It will be crazy, you will sweat like crazy and maybe take 1 year to finish this drawing.
Yeah.
If you will not give up. And actually you can learn this way. Again, this is how crazy it is. If you will start from zero like this, actually I cannot say it's wrong. It's just like you need to understand how it works. It's like a very hard way, and it's like like yeah, it's like you right away start to juggling all the stuff, and you see how you cannot handle everything, and but you keep trying, for years. You keep trying doing this all stuffs together instead of like start from easy. But I'm sure eventually you will able to do it. So it's just like it's your personal thing, like how you want to organize it, like how like what kind of experience on the way on your journey to the top kind of you want to have. You want to have this like crazy experience or more light experience, so without like fainting in the process of drawing. Without eat your ear and stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Because yeah, I'm really sure, because like I'm sure like it can make you crazy if you like have like high goal, and a low skill and low practice. If you're not give up, you can lose your mind. That's true. So people will give up just to keep their like sanity. Don't become crazy people. I think now, maybe I should try. It's definitely a way to become like great one. Just became like nuts from drawing. Like say, oh, this guy was lost his mind. Well, attempt to make great masterpiece.
You're gonna be like a famous artist.
Yeah. Like your whole house will look like like feel with the sketches, composition, trying to figure out how to draw these pictures, the freaking picture. It's like 1 point perspective, 1 point perspective, 1 point perspective. Yeah, but this is I believe it's just kind of it's another thing. It's not something we can teach in the school, but actually it's something another secret which people don't want to know. That actually like to be great you need to be crazy. And yeah, it's I
You have to be crazy to be great.
I think so, yeah. I mean, because why? Okay, it's different with let's say, yeah, I need to make this distinction. Like, who is crazy? Crazy is people who different from other people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only quality, right? But let's say like one of quality. So then, okay, we like it can be like different. Like one is dangerous, one is not danger. Actually, usually I hear this from like psychiatrists say is real crazy people like schizophrenia and stuff. They actually not danger. They only danger for themselves, and no, because they not happy and stuff, and no, or like have self harm kind of stuff. So. But my point is like when you became like all these artists or creative people who I respect, they go in and so far kind of level, far I mean like in their like individual way, so far from average. That from for average people, if they will listen what they say, they will absolutely crazy people,
Yeah.
because like they will talk and I mean and it's true actually it will totally kind of similar to what crazy people will say, only difference kind of like crazy people they cannot live normal life, but like master or genius, he can be normal, he can work, he can talk with people, he can pretend he is normal, uh, while crazy person he can't. It was even like in history before, it was thing like where people it still have, but before it was like majority how's it called, um, popular thing to praise crazy people, You know, house call. I don't know in English. When it's like church, in their church, somebody sit and talking some nonsense. Not nonsense. How's it called? Like no, schizophrenia kind of stuff. Which is blah 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 blah, and people like think it's like God talking through him.
Oh, like a prophet, like a cult leader.
Yeah. So it's like in the past and like medieval time and stuff. Like if they see people with how's called like when it's talking nonsense, crazy nonsense is a word in English. I forgot. Gibberish kind of.
I think that'd be it. Yeah.
So is people believe this time before is people believe is kind of God talking through these people because they don't have any reason for this. It's no any. He don't want anything from saying this. He's just like he's not talking from himself even. It's just some ideas and words coming from him, and nobody know why. So people say, oh, okay, it's kind of God.
Yeah, we have people like that all the time here in America.
Like I see him only in GTA.
Yeah, I mean they're making fun of it in GTA.
Mm.
That's it's such a good game. Well, funny.
Yeah, it's genius. It's like um, satire. It's like a book. It's really like they illustrate everything in like this like satire about America, right?
Yep. Yep, that's right. It's all jokes about us.
But it's made like by British guys, right?
I have to think about that.
Yeah, actually, this I forgot. It's like his man is two brothers, I think. Like they're British. So they start in
What's
the
up?
first GTA was GTA in London, something like this. So they working with GTA since like first GTA.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right. It was Rockstar North,
Hmm.
British video game development studio.
So is this traditional culture fighting between British and America, right?
Yeah. Always firing shots at each other. They make fun of us, and we say like they drink tea. They're like making fun of the accents.
Yeah, hamburger. Yeah, in Russia, everybody's so funny with like fact. Like nobody tell us in the school. We learn British English. You know, they like they taught children like British English, and even don't explain it so different from American English.
Wow, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like this, like lorry and cab.
I'm trying to think of other British words. I can't because I don't live there.
Rubbish bin is a British.
Oh, that's weird. Rubbish bin. That's such a fancy way to say it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, James Bond is like full of British English.
Yeah, I think that's a British series. I think.
Yeah. So like I was also because I started to watch in English like without um oh, kind of okay, watching original, and it's like, oh my god, it's so different English in James Bond from American Hollywood movies.
Yeah, I should watch those movies too. Did you like them?
Uh, oh, kind of. I don't know. It's just okay, but like some of them, they just, of course, they're like super remarkable in making, how say, action. Action is so cool. Like this one, Skyfall, for example, it was like in the beginning, was like running on the roofs and all this crazy stuff.
Well,
Actually, a lot of old American Hollywood movies with action, they actually also super smart and very interesting. Like True Lies. You remember True Lies
I've heard of it.
with Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I haven't. There's so many things I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah, you watch True Lies. It's much better than James Bond. It's crazy. It's like funny and also like it's also like satire on America by American people.
Oh, now I have to watch it.
Hmm. And it's like and it's actually so many kind of this like real stuff there, you know, like it's kind of like you watch some children cartoon when you're adult and it's like, oh my god, is this for children? And I watched this movie recently and it's like, well, I always thought it's just like action movie without sense, but actually it's so many stuff about family, about like how it's called, black ops. You know how you call it in America, like when like this problem with foreign operations and stuff like this, like fighting with terrorism stuff. So it's some kind of concerns there, right?
Yeah,
So it's
it's like
kind of. Mhm.
I forget what it's called. Counter terrorists.
Yeah, so no, anyway, it's kind of this kind of like Forrest Gump anyway, you know, like when the Forrest Gump is like, it's not just movie, it's a way to discuss problems or illustrates society, stuff like that.
True Lies is going on my list of movies.
Yeah, when you will finally like on a ship to Mars, you have now movies to watch.
Exactly. This is the Mars list.
Also can show it for further generations, so we'll know how it was life on Earth.
Exactly. My grandchildren, when we live on Mars and we live on the Mars colony, they're gonna ask me, like, what was it like back in the dark ages when you were stuck on Earth? And I'm gonna turn on True Lies and I'm gonna say this is what it was like for us. Maybe I could show him James Bond. I could say that that's what it was like being an artist.
James Bond?
Yeah,
Why?
it's like that's what we did. Like if you wanted to draw the view from the top of a building, you had to run across rooftops like James Bond did.
Ah. You mean you will tell it to children?
Yeah,
Ah.
I'll tell them that's what it was like back, like in the future when AI is making all of our art.
Yeah, yeah.
Like maybe we'll have big machines where we can imagine a picture and it just appears.
Hey. How's actually like now is like do you hear any like um panic about how's called ecology situation?
College, I haven't heard anything.
No?
I've
Okay.
heard that because of climate change, species can go extinct.
Yeah, it's just interesting because sometimes I see in Facebook some posts like say like, oh, it's like 10 year will be no Earth, stuff like this.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're all really worried about it over here.
Right? So I mean, like it's really like now in media kind of this stuff.
Yeah,
It's like talking about what is like global warming.
yep, everything's getting warmer.
Let's see. It's like no more ice. How's it called? South Pole or?
Yeah, Arctic. All
Mm-hmm.
the ice in the Arctic is melting.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, interesting time we'll live in.
Yep. Still hoping that we can fix it.
It's like I watched like recently also was talk with my friend from Kazakhstan and like no about all this situation in post-Soviet countries, and it's like for me most of this stuff it was something like in the books or in like modern history kind of stuff, and I never thought it's something like will ever in my life, and or is something like a movie or mythology stuff, like about like we're living on the edge of extinction and or like nuclear war or this one or that one. It's just like for me just like 2 months ago it was like just like think to talk or imagine, and now we're really like living here and like um I mean it's real. I mean, how to say, if no global warming, then it's real danger of nuclear war or World War III. I mean, if will be not, I don't believe in a nuclear winter actually, but anyway, it's very possible. World War III, it's really very possible kind of stuff, and uh, kind of anyway it will be escalating for something if they kind of countries will manage to not explode it too much. It still will be a lot of things happen soon like with this because of like Russia will grow in aggression or Russia will split. Anyway, it will cause other events, like other country will start to kind of like okay, like if like for example like Russia will give some area to Japan, like or Japan will take some area back, then other countries will start to talk and okay, we also want our territory back, and etc etc. It's kind of This thing is crazy, and I was like kind of. I thought my life will be just like artist, sit home and drawing and worry about pension and own health and food and stuff like that. But now everybody was thinking about apocalypse, and it's really like, is this maybe it always like this for every people? I'd say like you think you can avoid it, but eventually you're here. You again in like people before who live this Cold War generation, right? This is
Yeah.
now we have again same. So it's like for me, I think like maybe it's like some standard situation for people to like eventually live in a moment in a world of chaos and apocalypse kind of how to say apocalypse moods and atmosphere, like you know so kind of generations can change, history periods can change, but narrative will repeat itself. Like first you like child who like live very happy, then you start to more and more realizing what happened around, and then you realize it's edge of apocalypse, or it's already like slowly moving apocalypse. And it's not because it just happened now, it's just because you grow up and you start to see what happened.
Yeah, I found that's true for me too.
So it's
Totally just.
this kind of philosophy stuff, right? I mean, like maybe like 5 years ago, you really maybe have no idea about this stuff, even if it's really happening.
Yeah.
And like later, okay, maybe it will global warming and or nuclear war or World War III, and if people will survive, and this will repeat. I think it's probably it's just like one of idea how it works. It's just like thinking like how maybe this is how it works and always been. It's like okay, like we'll be like this Mad Max world, and still like your children, you're kind of everything like this guy in the Mad Max. Have you seen Mad Max? This last one.
I didn't watch it, but I know a lot about it and how it looks.
You saw this like they have this like cannon fodder, white color guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you like okay, it's like this time, and it's like I one of them, and like I was grow like child. I'm like very happy, have friends. We're fighting with the sticks. I dream to become a warrior and die in a battle, kind of stuff like this. And then I realized like, it's everything is a lie, and it's like, is all this so tricky and dangerous? And it's like we're already almost dead, but we keep killing ourselves, stuff like this. Like, okay, things just same like before in the history. But at least have hope. It's like Mad Max show us as people still can live even after nuclear war. So it's like very optimistic movie.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we could all be like Mad Max.
But,
So if it does happen eventually, I guess we do have Mad Max to look forward to.
yeah, it will be like teach Mad Max in like how it's called like in school for children in the first classes. How you call it in America? Like you have 3 level school, right?
Yeah, we have. What do we have? We have grade school and then high school and college.
Grade school is like 7-year-old to the children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's like will be like Mad Max class in
Like they'll teach you how to ride on top of cars and shoot guns.
like how to how to uh, how to make friend with a dog and survive in a desert. Like Fallout will be like a simulator for like for high classes. It's like
Oh, that'd be fun.
it's like, oh, I have parents like, why your Fallout grades so low? My your teacher called me.
In Mad Max class, how do you get a C in Mad Max class?
Are you normal? You're you know. And like the parents cry in the kitchen, mother talk with father. Like I think our children is too normal. He
They're never gonna survive the wasteland.
he even cannot eat a rat without cooking.
Dang it. At this point, do we even have a son? We didn't raise a normal boy.
Yeah. Eh, looks yeah, that's interesting.
I wonder if we could learn to shoot guns in class.
Yeah, like just have targets there.
Yeah. They give the 7-year-olds like a little assault rifle.
Oh yeah, yeah. This kind of movies will be like this, like royal battle movie kind of. Oh yeah, world. Like everybody will walk to class with a apple and rifle. You mean like this?
Yep, that's classic American school supplies.
It's actually interesting, you know, now like people talking about Ukraine, like when war will over, um, is they will make illegal to have a gun for people in Ukraine
Wow.
because you know because this when like this war begin, like government give everybody guns just with ID, just you know like no, what you cannot make much no much time to make all these difficult procedures. Just see like adult man, maybe he was in army, like seems adequate stuff like this. So it's like a lot of civilians made this like guerrilla squads, stuff like this. So it's just like armed, how to say, uh, civilians, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like totally like you know like this. I don't know. Well, it's already reminds so many like these movies like post-apocalypse or something, where people like need to weaponize to protect their house and stuff like this. So and the government say like so far people act so good, like they really like protect and resist to Russia army very effectively and cooperate with government, with Ukrainian army. So they think they say like Ukrainian people, they prove in this war they can have own guns. So it's very interesting, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I hope they pull through.
Huh?
I just hope that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I still like in part of my head, I still like don't believe it's happening.
Seems crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like I remember when it was announced that it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. That was like 3 months ago.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah,
February.
well, around 2 or 3 months. Yeah,
Oh
so
my God.
they started it after the
That's
Olympics
crazy.
ended. I think that was on February
Yeah.
26th.
No, the Feb 24 begin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it ended on the 20th, and then they started a few days later. Yeah. Oh. It's like a different time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's like before I was, my world was much more naive and childish kind of with this like how they call it's like without dragons, you know, and demons. It was all in the stories and in the fairy tales and movies. But now you realize they're real. These demons, they're real. Even zombie, you know. So many people in my own country is freaking zombie. Really, like so literally. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you realize it's like it's kind of like okay, imagine like it's similar actually so much to Spider-Man movies with this like Marvel uh, parallel worlds idea kind of like comic book idea, right? You know this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine like okay, we was in one world with one kind of mm, direction of possible events, but then something happened and this like happened like a crack or like so instead of being inside one universe I start to live in a parallel universe. I just like got to another one, so now I just exist in another universe in a parallel world. So this previous world keep existing somewhere and my like person somewhere there in this world where is not happen this war, but now me like we're conversation inside this universe where war is happening, and this universe is like uh, in this previous universe, this current universe will exist inside the book. Somebody can like write a book, say like what if happened war in Ukraine, and somebody reads this book and say like wow, it's crazy, I cannot believe like there's another kind of story, but here is reality. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine how they would react to it. What? Russia would never do that. That's so unrealistic.
So this is my point, like this how we always been react and me to such a stories before. Even if I watch real stories, something like I don't like war in Iraq or in Afghanistan kind of stuff, you know, like that's what kind of. I don't know really what happened, but all these kind of archetypes is just typical storytelling and narrative archetypes about like good guys, bad guys and stuff, but I don't know. I I, I only know like war itself is no good, just all. But then now I see is this main point actually is that is war of evil and good kind of, and like I just until this moment I was never absolutely realize like picture. I never have real picture of this thing, like when somebody tell like Soviet Union is empire of evil, I was like, come on, it's just telling this because it's not your country. It's like you can say like, oh, this country is like empire of evil, or that country empire of evil. This kind of how I was thinking about this, but I think for people in America they see it differently, and now actually I understand how it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like uh, it's kind of miracle when you was like fish in propaganda, and then you like jumping out of it, and you really like manage to find some land to live outside of this propaganda. It's like grow your legs kind of to walk out of this water, because you like always was there. It's people they just don't have legs kind of to walk out. They can only swim inside of this. It's like all their reality will broke if you will if they will really understand this like what happening, and that they're like
Yeah.
on the side of these like crazy people, like who's like absolutely crazy, it's insane. Так. О, what I did here. Just, okay. Let's see. But do you read some books usually, like storybooks or?
I haven't read one in a pretty long time.
Uh,
It's it's weird. Like especially I do a lot of art. I look at a lot of art. It's weird for me to sit down and just completely focus on a storybook. It's
mm,
hard for me.
it's interesting. Like I find it's something important also to do. Um, because of this actually, because of the, like just to keep this skill of observing information without rush. So this kind of book is like has this like special meditative let's call meditative temp, like when we watch like YouTube or movie or talking somebody is different temp. With book is like this more much more slower, and it's also like good for brain. It's really like how I realize for myself, and it's also quality of information in the books is so often uncomparable to anything. Like you watch, uh, for example, let's see what. Let Lord of the Ring, for example, like if you read book, it's absolutely different thing. It's like uh, amount of data is so different. It's like this Lord of the Ring movie kind of. They give you this small like like one spoon from all this like huge pot of data inside book.
I need to get more books. My shelf is pretty boring.
Oh, you don't like read on a phone?
I do. When I can get books on my phone, I do usually, but I like holding physical books.
Mm.
A lot easier to focus on for me.
Mm. Yeah, me it depends. Like if it's like easy to read book, I like on the paper. But if it's a difficult one, I how to say. Eventually, I always will find it on computer, and I will see it with like mind map or stuff. Because I feel it's like I need to fix to memorize something. I need to write it to like make mind map to remember all these details.
I need to try mind mapping at some point.
Yeah, it's just like also when you make map, also like you thinking also it's like another let's say reason to think deeper about what you're reading instead of just like keep following words. You need to organize like this information what you read. So like I make like for example I read book and I say like wow, I really like this image he talking, or like I like the way he say about something. So I think I should to memorize it, put on a mind map. And then when is some of them, I start to categorizing them in the categories. Like say like this, he talking about this thing, then he talking about other thing. Sometimes he make special words with he have his own meaning in a book. So also I will make like okay, then here have this category and what he talking about this word. And then when I keep reading book, I feel like okay, he again talking about this thing. So if I like what he say, I will copy and put there too. And maybe sometimes he rephrase, so I will rephrase. And because my idea also is later to watch my mind map, I want to make this mind map not too trashy, like I want to make it more concise. So I will read it again and try to make it more simple. And with anatomy or any drawing books is also very helpful.
I think I'm gonna try and do it with one of the books that I have already later.
Huh.
So many drawing books that I've never been able to use effectively.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and it's also like again, like I say, repetition, right? You can sometimes honestly ask yourself, like, do I really get all I can from this book?
Yeah. It's hard too. I get a lot of reference books. There are so many ways those books can be used.
Ah, yeah, reference books, right? I also have like I bought them and they like still thinking where I can use them. And like, cause I watch like Daniel Warren, he have this like Japanese reference books with different poses, and I also bought some of them. It's so cool. You watch it couple times, and after like, oh, I, it's actually it's called like a pipeline. I think it's like you need to have this um, sequence in which you will need to use these references. And like it seems really like useful for comic book artists when they need some action poses and like okay, he takes this book and he dun, 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 choose this one. I need to start to practice with this. So imagine like if we now in this universe, or like I just realized we are in this universe with narrative narration. Then it's interesting how like meaning of storytelling is um, is much clearer now for me. Because when it's like storytelling and reality, it's it's kind of same thing. Then, what do you think purpose of making story?
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
Is it alright if I have you repeat what you said? I need to think about that.
Yeah, because I was always kind of thinking about this, like okay, it's like I write, for example, like I make story, right, where some action, all the stuff, and like something happen. It's just like toy for me to play, just for fun, or is something where I will reflect my worries, or is something I want to tell to somebody, and then what I will tell them with with what I want them to know, this kind of thing. So I was always saying like I don't know why what I want to them to know this kind of. But now I have some idea about this. Because like now I mean currently like what because at least I see it's two major things happening in in a space of information, let's say. It's how much evil people can do themselves just because they don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
So and when you make story or something like anyway you use narration to explain people what is what, like who is who. You show this like characters. You say like, okay, this person. Like you think like, oh, great leader is a good idea. Okay, look this story, like what happened, like, and how if you look it from different view, like like okay, let's say a murderer, like crazy psychopath, he can look pretty for somebody, but if he will realize like who he is, he will not more pretty anymore, right?
Right.
It's like at least he will look scary at this moment, kind of from this moment. So I think this kind of purpose now for storytelling, and also like if talking about Akira, I forgot. I think it's in English. Have a video where it's talking about meaning of Akira.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen the video, but I looked it up once.
So there is like it's really like he was trying to how say in his story he was really like sorting out what to do with all this happening in the world, like like for Japan people. So he was writing story for people in Japan, and he was like kind of uh, um, reflecting all this problem inside society and inside people, how they feel, what they worry about, and stuff like this. So all these images, he include military, science, catastrophic events like earthquake or nuclear bombs, kind of, all these parallels, all this stuff what exists in the Japan people society. So he's like really like trying to working out with the real situation and find mindset or philosophy, or like just give these directions to people to see, like to young generation, especially in the story, like with this Canada, right? So they like have these two guys, and one guy he was just not able to bear all this reality, kind of, he just like getting nuts. Other one he kind of became kind of leader, like he been leader, but then he kind of grew up and became like leader of Japan, like no, if in the manga story, right?
Right.
So it's not like just funny story. It's like, and we're not Japanese, but it's really interesting to hear how like some adult Japanese people will tell meaning of these stories. I think they will tell something interesting. When whereas all this is kind of meme, all these things for us it's just like, oh, interesting characters. For them it's they know what is a meme too, right?
Right. Yeah, they take it. Well, I shouldn't say this. They take it. They do take it really seriously. Their stories are a lot deeper.
No, so this seems is like how his real story works. It's if it's not this way, then nobody, then it will not become like let's say cult kind of story, or famous something.
Yeah, I think it.
And Miyazaki also is like, I like somewhere I read interview with him, or he was just, yeah, he was talking about it. He said like somebody tell him, uh, is this like necessary to put politics inside your stories, like, you know, in the context? And he say like, oh, if I don't put this like layer of politics, then I don't see any reason to make any story at all.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because he was also like, he was activist when he was student. I
So
need.
he is
Mm-hmm.
deep into. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say so. Wow, yeah, he really is deep into politics. Then those are the kinds of stories he likes.
Yeah, his story is very interesting, right? It's like Mad Max kind of actually.
Yeah.
Even like Pony of Fish, you watch this, it's crazy. It's about apocalypse actually. It's like la 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 Antichrist with in with the look of fish. No, I mean really, it's like there, you know, this like end of world, like all sink underwater, and like one woman only in the story who was like, oh my god, we all die, and everything like so colorful. That's interesting. It's Miyazaki style. No, no, not Antichrist. This Ponya is Lucifer, kind of. I think like it's totally parallel to this.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Also, like, you know, if like he will tell this somebody will like just totally freak out. But it's definitely what he meant when he made this story.
100%.
Have you seen Joseph Campbell interviews?
I have not. Like he was a writer, right?
No, he's kind of notorious for this, like hero journey uh, pattern, kind of. You know, it's like everywhere. It's hero journey. He was like, um, Lucas was consultation with him about Star Wars story, so he used this idea of hero journey from Joseph Campbell to make this like Luke Skywalker and stuff.
Oh wow, he was the guy who made that.
Yeah.
Joseph Campbell was the guy who made that whole thing.
No, he.
Not Star Wars, but the archetypal hero.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's correct to say he made it. He's like a scientist, kind of, who discovered kind of this thing. Because like he was, idea here is like he studied many world cultures, like almost all. You know, I don't know, it's like say all or not, but a lot is crazy. He's like super professor kind of in a square cube, and so he kind of say one of thing he finds in all cultures and religions, and this pattern of hero's journey. But there's
Wow.
sorry, yeah, there's many other stuff he actually also talking about. It's crazy what he's talking, like about all this like it's crazy. It's very interesting. You can find many short interview with him in YouTube, but there is also like Joseph Campbell Foundation where have like his lectures about mythology, about kind of life and death and different like what's called outer world kind of stuff. It's very, very interesting.
I'm gonna look more into him. Geez, every time we talk, I just get a list of a bunch of names to look up.
Yeah, that's
Great.
that's how it is. Yeah, same thing. It's like keep growing and like I just like cu- curious to death.
Yep, never stop learning.
But there's it's really interesting how I was find. This like phrase like being saying being into something, right?
Yeah.
So uh, to make something you need to be into something, and like what you're in will also like result what you're doing. So if you like you have favorite artist or director or creator, yeah, let's say you have favorite creator, you need to realize how to get into this thing from where you're creating.
I'm trying to think about that.
So let's say like Miyazaki, right? So you understand like okay, for being like Miyazaki, you also should consider like being have to be concerned about political and world situation, like ecology, politic, and kind of have political position, or also like how it's called civilian position, right?
Right.
So this is kind of strong part of his thing, and or like talking about like some writers or no some creators, they're super educated, like they know a lot of history or art history, for example, and you can see it in their work. So if this artist who you love you want to be like him, and he's like super educated in the culture history, then you need to learn culture. Then it's like this kind of thing where he start to dig in. So like um, it can be like forever, it can be never ending, but from there you will creating stuff like he. Even maybe at some point you will become like incarnation of him, you know, like like I don't know, like Akira Kurosawa kind of like for me is like incarnation of Tolstoy in the movie making, you know.
Yeah.
So they're kind of they go they with their kind of seeing way of seeing life and concerns and educational stuff. There was kind of going to same area and making from there. And all and it's also kind of you know is have its special problems like you know like this like when you learning non-stop it give you also this anxiety of being um, empty kind of right like you always feel like you don't you feel lack of uh, I don't like you know what I mean. You aware, at least you're aware about your emptiness. So it's like, oh, I need to learn this. I need to understand better this thing, and etc. etc. It's kind of nervous.
Oh yeah, you kind of become aware of like how much there is to do,
Yeah.
which you have left to learn. Yeah.
So I think like let's if like um, analyze like Miyazaki again, for example, just like a talking what in my mind. It's like one thing, say, it's his concerns and we can study what is he concerned about, what he's worried about, and where is his focus. And second thing is his state and like approach to working process. So he has this like, let's say he has super discipline, like from book like this, like War of Art. He is like um, Stephen King, you know, super disciplined guy. But also he have very interesting like intuitive approach to work. Like in some interview, also he say about he was talking about Totoro. You know this story? Have you heard?
Oh, I haven't heard the story.
No, I mean like about how he make Totoro.
Oh no, I haven't.
No, I will like not maybe all details, but it's like kind of he was say like how he start to make this Totoro. He say he was just like have some image in his mind, like you know, imagine like a black space, like without anything, you cannot see anything clear. In the middle of this, it's a girl with umbrella and near a bus station with a lamp and maybe with the rain, I'm not sure. So he say he had this image in his head for some time, and then it was appear Totoro appears there in this image, and he don't know why and from where. He just kind of things appearing in his mind, you know. And then he was start to look and more for this situation in his imagination, and more he look and study it, more it expand and he start to see more details. Like he starts like, oh, what can happen after? Like, oh, like cat bus arrive, and will they go together or only guy go inside and stuff like that. And from kind of thinking about this, he discover whole story kind of, you know, like eh,
Wow.
yeah, super intuitive. And in a book, he also I have this book like called Starting Point. He talking talking about this too. He's talking about like Actually, you can just simply um, trying to get into your world of your story, just directly, like you're just try to explore it and learn it first. So like he say he even like uh, he are walking these roads inside this world where story happening. Like he like take bicycle and go to bicycle to ride, look around, what here on the left or here on the right. Uh, it's crazy. But this actually is not supernatural. It's kind of actually everybody can practice and train how to do this stuff.
It's hard though.
I mean, if you start
It,
simple, if you don't want to make like full feature movie from first attempt, then it's okay.
oh yeah, maybe short stories.
Anything. Just like my point here is just like how it works. So it's like different methods. Somebody work from structure, somebody work from like I don't know, like maybe like making homage or stuff like this. Like so like oh, I want to make story like this, but rephrase it, and you rephrase it so much and make so many your personal stuff inside, so nobody even realize you just much stuff, right?
Right.
But how he works this way. Like it's like similar this same approach to um, David Lynch. And David Lynch, he has this book called Catch Big Fish. It's a very small book, so you can also move it in the first list, in your list.
Oh yep, it's on there.
Huh?
Oh yep, it's on the list.
It's already there, or you wouldn't?
Just added it.
Okay.
Like David Lynch catching the big fish.
Yeah, like this. And he also describing this kind of same approach, how he like he connect this with meditation. Kind of he talking about everywhere. He talking about meditation. So he like in a meditation, he kind of going inside himself. It's like a diving inside his inner space, and then he start to recognizing something inside himself, because like right now, like we all have some feelings inside, some like trails or links to previous experience, right?
Right.
So and you can kind of because like our brain is like here making stories. Story is not exist actually. It's not all of these like characters and events, even like how it's called like cause and events not exist actually in reality. It's our concept. So like so then when you study something complex, your brain start to kind of making story from this. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, everywhere we look, it's just main thing is like questions of dedication and repetition. So if you dedicate it enough to walk through all these obstacles and go to some result, to some like how to say um, something looks complete kind of, right? So if you're dedicated enough to get there, then you will be there just all. And if terms of quality, it's just like how often you do it, how many times you did it. It will define your quality of result. Just so.
What if you do it like 100 times? You get a high quality result, or like thousands of times.
Yeah, yeah. Anything like no, I mean there start to this discussion about other moment is about structure, right? About do you like you can just copy some face 1 million times, or you will like read Bame's book about anatomy and you will repeat drawing like structure of face. So it's like totally different thing too. But there, I think again, it's like it's not actually it's not conflict here. It's just talking about different branch or different individual situation, but idea same. You want to draw like anatomy faces, okay, same. You need to dedication and repetition. I forgot I need to make smaller people here. Так. Or actually I do.
Geez, the people on top are gonna be so small.
Mm-hmm. So I will just do them more and more like symbolic than realistic. You know, like here it will be just like this. Yeah, actually maybe I can draw a line here. Okay, that's or here I have this line. Let's try. And it's interesting, like in childhood I was first time watch a comic book. It was Mickey Mouse, I think. There was like a DuckTales and Mickey Mouse kind of stuff. And for me it was like it blew my mind. I never seen like this quality comic book before. And like I literally was feel like it's a portal to another universe, you know.
Yeah.
It's like every time I take it like and like I'm not look at drawings or ink on a paper. I was like looking through all this to somewhere which was like absolutely real.
That's how you know it's a good comic book.
Yeah, right. It's about this also about this, right? Like, because I had this experience, I can have this intention to do something like this, and then I ask question like, how can I do this thing? And then I look also like more examples of artists who do similar stuff and like how and listen how what they telling about how they work. So then I talking about Miyazaki and David Lynch, for example. They're kind of making these portals, you know.
Yeah, just the stuff they put out is so insane.
Yeah, with David Lynch is like mostly like have no idea what's happening, but still it feels so solid and real.
And that's why he's a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's like watching somebody like oh, okay, like you are wake up after crazy dream and you're like, oh my god, it's so crazy. I still kind of can remember part of it, and slowly I start to forgetting it very fast because it's too crazy to my brain to keep it in mind. And then you watch David Lynch, and it's like, oh my god, this is how exactly my dreams looks like, you know? It's like how somehow he managed uh, to express this kind of level of image, or you know, like which is like your brain can do this crazy like some like with this intense images, like crazy intense. Only in a dream can be, you know.
Yeah.
And somehow he managed to deliver it. This is genius, of course.
Maybe he does that trick. I forget if it was Picasso or Salvador Dali who did it. They would hold. Who's the
Ah,
guy that painted the melting clock?
Dali. Yeah, I hear it's Dali. Like he have a metal key and a metal dish under his hand when he will sleep, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, then he'd drop it when he fell asleep and wake him up, and he got to remember all of that stuff.
Oh, so actually, David Lynch he explained everything in his book. In this book, he like explain everything. He's not this guy who tried to make it his special secret. He really like seems like he telling everything he can. Oh yeah, I have cheating here. I can use some flag.
Oh, you. That is
Cheater.
such a cheat.
In a workshop of drawing people, I will just cover everybody. Так.
This is called an artist hack.
Ага. Artist hack. Have you know comic? How say correct? Have you know or do you know?
Do you know?
Okay. Do you know Elf Quest comic book?
Um, I, I haven't read it, but I did hear about it once.
Yeah. So this was second comic book which blew my mind in the childhood. Because it's like comic book, but I was first time read some like adult story. Mm. kind of adult. I mean, this was talking about real things, you know, not just like funny duck go to fishing and then like fighting with a frog. There was about like war and different race, about like relationships and stuff like this.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like blow my mind. So cool. And this
And
like
it looks cool too.
you
Oh,
find
sorry.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this like first how's it called? You first chapter like the no not chapter like first 4 books or 6 books like first set is definitely cool. Next one I read adult and don't remember anything about them, but these first 4 books I was reading like 100th time. You know, it's just like look everything there is so crazy, drawings and like all this like narrative.
Wow. Oh, they have the entire comic online for free.
An official website?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They say every let's see what the website says.
Oh, you
You
drop
can read
it.
Oh,
Drop
sorry.
drop to Discord. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll do that now.
So everybody want to see free Elf Quest? Join our Discord channel.
Yep. Every Elf Quest tale published before 2014.
Oh, cool. I put some in the comment here or Discord. Somebody survive for conversation. They're welcome to our club.
Of our secret public club.
Secret public, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have a good sleep. Thank you for cool conversation.
You're welcome. Thank you for the streams.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think I will soon will go too. I think it's like some example is enough.
Yeah.
I just hope some crazy people will like our talks and join our Discord.
I hope so too. We love talking to people.
Okay, good night.
Oh, good night. Good night. I guess I'll
Yeah,
see you later. I hope I see some other people in the awesome server too.
cool. Thank you.
Oh man. All right. Have a good night.
Good night. Так, okay. Cameraman here, very cool one. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Paparazzi. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, thank you for comments. It's okay, almost finished, so I will go to lunch. Yeah. let's leave it on this stage, and yeah, I will go quickly eat something, and later when I will complete this picture, I will put it for thumbnail on YouTube. No, and also of course it will be in my Instagram, City Sketch. See you later. Thank you for watching, and follow us on Discord. Join my Discord channel.